Shalom, shalom, Yasharala. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushai Bahashim Ruchakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching 100% truth. Wa Barakadam, and to you sincere Akim, while you few sincere Akwath. May peace and blessings be unto your household. And it's your brother Gadal from the Great Millstone Dallas branch. And it's quick lesson. Basically, just going to get into, man, the Lord grace is sufficient for thee. All right, it's enough for us, man. All right, and grace goes into good favor. But matter of fact, we're probably gonna just look at it in the blue letter. Yeah, we're gonna look at it in the blue letter in this 2 Corinthians. All right, and get 2 Corinthians chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, "And lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in my flesh." And this is talking about Apostle Paul. All right, and it said, "Lest should I be exalted above measure." In other words, unless you should become proud. All right, unless you should become proud, through the abundance of the revelations, there was given a thorn in his flesh. There was a thorn in his flesh just so he wouldn't become proud. All right, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. All right, so Lord put a thorn in the flesh to keep him from getting proud based off of everything that Apostle Paul was getting. All right, all the blessings he was getting. He said all the revelations, right? So he was being revealed a lot of things, but through all that, the Lord put a thorn in his flesh, all right, to keep him from becoming proud. Matter of fact, I'll just read it in the NLT because it pretty much says it, if I'm not mistaken. Where is it at? There it goes. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7 in the NLT. It says, "Even though I have received such wonderful revelations from the Most High, so to keep me from becoming proud, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger from Satan to torment me and keep me from becoming proud." All right, that thorn in the flesh. All right, so that's that thorn in that flesh, man. Satan been sent unto him to torment him and keep him from being proud. All right, it's going to keep him from being proud because he was receiving received such wonderful revelations from the Most High. All right, all to keep him from being proud. But let me go ahead and continue. Back in the KJV, it says, verse 11. Verse 8. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 8. It said, "For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me." So that he asked the Lord pretty much 3 times to basically take the thorn off of him, like take the thorn out of him. All right, because Jake, man, you're going through it. Who enjoys going through hell? Who enjoys having that thorn in their flesh? Nobody would enjoy that, right? So he asked the Lord to take it off of him, take it from him, and it says, "And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me." All right, so. In other words, Lord told me, man, my grace is good enough for you, man. You'll be all right. You will be all right. All right, and and we have to take that in account of our walk, man. That the Lord grace is sufficient for us, yeah. Because there are certain things that we go through, certain infirmities that we may have, that is gonna keep you, in other words, humble. All right. That's the whole point of the Lord putting that thorn in your flesh, all right, to keep you humble, whatever it may be, all right, because His grace, matter of fact, let me see what it says. What it says grace for right here, because it might. Let me see what it says. All right, it says, Uh, Charis. Charis. I'm just playing. I can't pronounce.
Strong's G 5485. Charis. Charis.
Okay, I was saying pretty much right. Charis. All right. Grace. Okay. So I was pretty much right. I was right. But it really goes more into it. It says goodwill, loving kindness, favor. All right. Of the merciful kindness by which the Most High, exerting his holy influence upon souls, turns them to Mashiach, straightens, increases them in the faith, knowledge, affection, and kindles them to exercise the Christian virtues. All right, so in other words, it goes into his merciful kindness. All right, goodwill, his loving kindness, his favor, man. His grace is sufficient for thee, man. All right, we're in a time of grace right now, man. All right, his merciful kindness, the fact that we got a chance to get it right now. All right, the fact that you still have the truth, man, is that's good enough right there. All right, so yeah, you might go through whatever you may be going through, but remember that the Lord's grace is sufficient, man. It's good enough. All right. Now, there's nothing wrong if you pray for it. You know, if you pray for the Lord to take certain things off of you, there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. All right, but hey, man, hey, it's just sometimes, hey, there's a reason why it's there. All right, well, matter of fact, I'll just give a brief testimony, just brief testimony. All right, I remember basically I was going through something. I was dealing basically with a demon that I really wanted to get off of me, because I mean, who wants a demon on them, right? So it was a demon that I really wanted to get off of me, and I was praying about it, and it just wasn't happening. And I was like, okay, so I'm finna fast, and I fasted maybe about 2 or 3 times, and it was the same answer. But same answer every time. All right, I was fasting that the Lord take the demon off me, and he basically told me that the reason that this demon is on me is to keep me humble. So pretty much I just gonna have to deal with it, but it's keeping me humble, which is, hey, to keep me from being proud. All right, I wouldn't really call that a thorn in your flesh, but it's just like it's something that I would have to deal with. All right, just to keep me humble. All right, but the Lord, reading this, understanding that his grace, his goodwill, his loving kindness, his favor is, which is sufficient, man. It's good enough, man. I still got the truth. I'm still able to preach this word. I'm still able to go on the highways and byways. I still have the names. I still believe. Therefore, what? That's an example of his grace being sufficient. It's sufficient for thee, man. All right, we good. All right, for you, Akim, you sincere Akim, while you few sincere Aquas, man. If you're going through something, hey, of course, first and foremost, pray that the Lord, get you through it or take the demon off for you, whatever it may be. But there is just certain things that you're going to go through that is to keep you humble. All right, you got some brothers. Brothers got that. Some brothers got that thorn in the flesh, man. Why? But why? It's to keep them humble. Ultimately, that's what the Lord did with Apostle Paul through many revelations to keep him from getting proud. The Lord had to put a thorn in his flesh. Why? Because we're in the flesh. We are in the flesh, man. Pretty much, yeah, we're in the flesh. Therefore, with this flesh, man, it could go off just like that. All right, just like that. It has many of times. Why do we in the predicament we in now? Due to being in the flesh. Right? So, man, hey, the Lord's grace is sufficient for thee, man. All right, if there's something that you're going through, and you pray and you fasted, and Lord gives you that answer, they're like, oh, hey man, it's just a thorn in my flesh. Hey, that's me. Hey, Lord's grace is sufficient for thee, man. You good. Ultimately, you good. The Lord put that thorn there in your flesh for a reason, or whatever you may be going through for a reason. But pretty much it's ultimately to keep you from becoming proud. Because what scripture says, pride is the beginning of when one departed from his maker. So the last thing you want is to get any kind of pride in you. You want to remain humble as possible. And if the Lord put that thorn in your flesh, even though you don't want to deal with it, even though you don't want to deal with it, you hate it, hey man, it's keeping you humble. Ultimately, it's keeping you humble. It might, before you try to basically judge a brother, you most likely think about yourself, think about what you're going through, think about that the fact like, damn man, I got this thorn in my flesh, man. I'd be kind of fucked up to be like this towards this brother. It just keeps you humble, bro. It keeps you from getting proud, thinking that you all that, and you really not. Galatians 6:3. If a man think himself to be something, when he is nothing, he deceives himself. You're just gonna deceive yourself anyway if you think yourself to be something, which is you being prideful. All right. But yeah, man. Hey, the Lord grace is sufficient. So if you got that thorn in your flesh, you got that, because pretty sure every brother got one. Every brother got one. Something keeping him humble, right? Right. Apostle Paul had one that kept him humble. How much more us? All right. We're in the flesh too, so gotta have something to keep us humble, whatever it may be, whatever it might have been, an experience that you went through, or experience that something that's gonna keep reoccurring until the Lord sees fit to take it off of you. All right, who knows, man? It's ultimately up to Yahweh Shem Shai at the end of the day. All right, I still deal with it up until today. All right. What I have to deal with, I deal with it till today. It is what it is, man. All right, His grace is sufficient. I'm still here. I'm still serving. But hey, one thing it is doing for sure is definitely keeping me humble. I think about it. Before I judge a brother, I think about myself. I'm like, damn, man, I ain't no fucking better. So, judge, but you judge accordingly, of course. But let me go back. Anyways, that's really all I had. Matter of fact, hold on. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get Sirach, not Sirach, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10. I'm going to go ahead and read this real quick. It says, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities and reproaches and necessities and persecution and distress for Mashiach's sake, for when I am weak, then I am strong. All right. Well, it said that in verse 9. Yeah, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. All right, when we are at our weakest point, man, we're really, honestly, the closest to Yahweh Shem Shai. That's when we're the closest. All right, when we're weak or made strong. Because when you're weak, what are you doing? When you're going through it, what are you doing? You praying to Yahweh Shem Shai. And the more you keep praying to Yahweh Shem Shai, the closer you're going to get to him. All right, the Lord's been getting used to you hearing you calling him. All right, through these infirmities, through these reproaches, which is shame, through these persecutions, the distresses, the daily tribulations, everything you're going through in your walk, man. All right. For when I am weak, we are made strong, man. We are weak, but through Yahweh Shem Shai, we're made strong. All right. So it's these infirmities, these brothers got the plague of the mind, whatever it may be going through, man. Hey, it's ultimately to bring you closer to Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, makes you want to get out of here even more, knowing that, like, man, we got to deal with these kind of infirmities. All right, in these bodies, in these, man, this wretched flesh, man. That's probably one of the biggest things that's one of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to, Salakia, is getting out of these bodies, bro, man. These bodies are weak as hell. All right, shit. I was literally talking to a brother about like, man, you can work out and you can eat like, you know, pretty good, and you can still end up getting sick. I was like, man, this is hell, dog. All right, but you know, anyways, man, just remember, hey, if you're going through something, you pray to the Lord about it. I mean, obviously, wait, be patient, and you know, if it doesn't happen, remember there's a reason why it doesn't happen, man. It's ultimately most likely to keep you humble. All right, the Lord's grace is sufficient for thee, man. What we have is enough. The grace that we have is enough. The fact that you know the truth is that's enough within itself. That's His grace being sufficient. His loving kindness, His favor towards us, man. That's Him showing favor, because He didn't have to give us the truth. I mean, He clearly shows favor to somebody, because there's some people that got the truth and there's a whole lot that don't. Really, there's only one group that has the 100% truth, and everybody else, they don't got the truth. All right, unless you're like following under GMS, you know. But if you're not, then you're most likely going on at some point in your doctrine. But anyways, man, Lord willing, I was edified. I'm gonna end it out by saying, call halal, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rachakodash. Forgive me, Spirit, to do this quick lesson. Until next time, I say, Shalom, Yasharal.